Hello and welcome to the Unnamed Automotive Podcast. My name is Sammy Haj Assad, and with me, as always, is my good friend and fellow automotive journalist, Benjamin Hunting. Say hi to the people, Ben.
There's a huge energy mismatch on the podcast tonight because Sammy spent the whole day recording video. Is that correct?
Yeah, most of the day. I wouldn't say the whole day. Like the moment I woke up, I was just on camera and just like, watch me go.
EdTV or The Real World.
Yeah, Truman Show.
So Sammy's been in like projecting host mode all day. He's like got his feet underneath him. He feels good about communicating. Me, I've been horribly introspective and living in this dark sunsets at 3 p.m. world that we call early December. And so like Sammy's just out there and ready to go. And it's like I'm being dragged from a hole in the ground into the, I guess, blinking brightness of a podcast, which is far more illumination than I've experienced throughout most of today. So things are a little weird here, but Sammy,
yes,
I guess I should say hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for dealing with this mismatch.
I think by now people know who we are. We're good friends. We're automotive journalists. You can find our work all over the internet, all that jazz. I want to cue you in because you've got one of the most interesting pickup trucks that I have ever heard about. It's a Ford F-150, but it's not just any F-150. From what I understand, it's among the most powerful F-150s on the market today. Can you tell me more about this?
You're trying so hard with the among. I heard it. I heard your tone of voice. You kept the lid on it.
Talk to me about this F-150.
The most powerful F-150 with a gas engine. We're not talking about the Lightning. We're talking about,
Or the R.
Well, the
Raptor R.
That's what I was about to say, is the Raptor R.
It's sandwiched between these two vehicles.
No, the most powerful F-150 with a gas engine is the Raptor R, which is a supercharged 5.2-liter V8. That's like
a purpose-built doodad.
Yeah.
It's like it races and does
The
stuff.
next most powerful F-150 with a gas engine is not the regular Raptor. So in between the Raptor R and the Raptor, there's a totally different vehicle that has nothing to do with either of those models, and it somehow outmuscles the regular Raptor, and that is the F-150 Powerboost, which is a hybrid model. And for Ford,
it's important to point out. Hold on, wait. It's important to point out that the F-150, this Powerboost, is actually just a powertrain that you can attach to almost any trim.
Not almost any. It's
okay.
available from the XLT up, so you can go XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum. I think that's the range, which is
that's a ton of trims though. That's a lot.
It's pretty good. It's definitely
a lot. Like over half of it. That's like half of them.
But it's weird in terms of how you can get it. So there's a price that comes with the Powerboost engine and drivetrain, but there's also in some cases, depending on the trim level, you have to buy an options package too. And I think it's only available on 4-door trucks. So if you have like a 2-door XLT, you have to upgrade to a crew cab. So all of this stuff is like, it can add hidden costs. So while it is available at every trim, it's not just like an option where you spend $3,000 or $1,900 or whatever. In general, the cost of adding it is like just under $2,000 to just over $3,500, and in some cases, it could be a lot more if you're moving up from like a regular cab to a crew cab.
Okay.
In any case, this truck it's sandwiched between these two high performance trucks, but it is itself a high performance truck. It does 60 in like 5 seconds, which is ridiculous given how big it is. It has 570 pound-feet of torque, which is 70 pound-feet more than the regular EcoBoost, and 160 pound-feet more than the 5-liter V8, which is my favorite F-150 drivetrain. And it has 430 horsepower, which is 30 more than both the 5-liter and the twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6. So that's a lot of power.
I want to talk Ford F-150 powertrains for a second, because my personal favorite is the 3.5-liter EcoBoost. I think that engine is fantastic. It has always been more than enough for me. Okay, clearly I don't know, maybe I'm not made for high horsepower trucks, but I was always into that. Like, I think it's 400 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque or something like that. And I'm always like, that's good. That's perfect for me.
Sure, but it's thirsty. And it gets really hot.
Yeah, even for a 6-cylinder, it gets thirsty.
And
I don't know about this heat thing.
Well, when you tow with a turbocharged truck, heat builds up. So it's, there's not really much you can do about that. Back to the hybrid though, the numbers are identical pretty much to the Toyota Tundra. So like,
okay,
what I find most interesting about the F series with the hybrid drivetrain is not so much that it's really powerful. It is. I mean, it's quick. It feels quick, and it can tow 12,500 pounds. All of those stats are great for people who care about stats. But you look at the Tundra hybrid, and you're looking at similar numbers, right? Where the F series pulls ahead, I think, is in practicality and utility, because the Powerboost, not only do you get that, excuse me, not only do you get the extra grunt, but you also get the Pro Power onboard. Is that what it's called? Let me double check.
I don't know. I didn't drive the car. What are you talking about?
So there is it is Pro Power onboard. This is a generator feature that has been available in the F series for a long time. You can add Pro Power onboard to a number of different drivetrains. With the Powerboost, it comes standard. So the standard version gives you, in the regular F series, 2 kilowatt hours of electricity available via plugs in the cargo bed. The Pro Power onboard system in the Powerboost steps up to 2.4 kilowatts standard, but you can add as an option, and it's not that expensive, a 7.2 kilowatt.
Whoa.
So that allows you to power a lot of things. Like we're talking like large appliances, really heavy.
Charge your car or charge an EV with it.
I mean, you could charge an EV with a 2.4 as well. Yeah. I don't, Sammy, do you remember what the Lightning has? Because it has a similarly large system.
No, I don't know off the top of my head.
I've actually charged a car using the Lightning before.
Okay.
I charged a what were they? The
Leaf?
No, a Smart 4. A Smart 4.2.
Very nice. You're a kind person to EV owners.
No, I borrowed it from a friend.
Just
to charge it. It's one of the few EVs that you could charge within the bed of an F series. Like you could drive it up into the bed and it fits, and then you could, shut the tailgate and charge it and then take it out and drive it after you're done. But you don't get any of that with the Toyota. Like nothing, as far as I'm aware. Do you know if there's
the hybrid system is just like the powertrain and that's it, right?
That's as far as I know. Let me double check because
and I mean, as you mentioned earlier, it's not even the powertrain that dictates whether or not you get Pro Power on board. What's it called again?
It's called Pro Power onboard.
Pro Power on board.
But the one for
PPOB?
The one for the Powerboost is the most powerful outside of the Lightning, which I think probably matches it at 7.2 kilowatts. I used a Lightning to power my entire wedding a couple of years ago.
I remember that. I was there.
And I used the Pro Power onboard system to do that. So it's a really great system. And with the Powerboost, you can use obviously the power that's in the battery. Like it has the larger battery than a regular F series that just has a gas engine, but it'll also kick the engine on and use it as a generator. So I personally used this power plug in the bed to cut a Christmas tree. When you buy a Christmas tree, you have to cut the end off the trunk so that it can drink water. And like a sucker, I used to do that by hand, and it sucks. But this year I bought a particularly thick and robust Christmas tree, and I didn't want to try that. So I used a power saw, and the truck had no problem with it. It was perfectly fine. You could activate it from inside the truck on the infotainment system, or you can use there's a button inside the bed that lets you turn it on. And in fact, when it's activated inside the truck, you also have to turn it on with the button in the bed, just like as a safety thing. And you can turn it off that way too. It's super easy to use. It presented no problems, and it's just, again, I think that pickup trucks should be useful. I think pickup trucks are too big, which limits their utility. I have trouble backing them in and out of my driveway, and I live in the country. It's ridiculous.
Your driveway is as big as can be.
Yeah. I think this truck is in particular too big, but I will say it is very useful, and it definitely goes way above and beyond what you can get with any other pickup from a job site or like it's also, a 4x4. So if you wanted to do some camping or go off-roading or whatnot, you could power a microwave. You could power a whole bunch of lights. You could power some heaters if you're out in the camping in the winter and it's cold. I mean, it's just really practical. And the fact that it will turn the engine on means you don't have to worry about the battery running out and not being able to get back home again. Like you can keep jerry cans of gas and use it if you're at a remote camp or something like that. So it's really impressive technology.
I remember this being a discussion way back when Pro Power Assist on board. What's it called again? Pro Power on board?
Yeah, Pro Power on board.
I'm going to ask you every time. It first came out. It's not as efficient as a dedicated generator, but your dedicated generator requires you to put it in a car or a trailer or whatever. You have to drive it everywhere.
Exactly.
This is included in the car.
And you have to store fuel somewhere, right?
Yeah. So this is all in one thing. It's the convenience that comes. Yeah. I mean, we would all love the efficiency of a dedicated generator, but those have a lot of, compromises in order for you to use them anywhere your truck is. That's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the gimmick, I guess, with these F-150s.
No, I don't think it's a gimmick. I think calling it a gimmick is wrong. I think that it is legitimately useful.
It's the killer app of these F-150s.
It's definitely something that you should pay more for. I think that it is worth getting the hybrid for this reason. I don't think that the power is necessarily what you would pay more for. The fuel efficiency is not great. I mean, it's on paper better than similarly. Well, there's not really any similarly powerful.
Talk about the Tundra.
No, I don't know.
Is it better than the Tundra?
I don't know the Tundras off the top of my head, but I'm just comparing it to other Fords in the lineup because that's the choice you're going to be making, right? There aren't any that really make the same amount of power, but it's better than the EcoBoost is 20 miles per gallon combined. The V8 not the EcoBoost, the base V6 in the F-150, which is that a turbocharged engine? Yeah, it is. That's the 2.7. So that is 20 miles per gallon. And then the 5-liter V8 and the larger EcoBoost are 19 miles per gallon combined. On paper, the Powerboost is 23 miles per gallon combined. So that's like roughly a 25% increase or a 20% increase, which is good. I don't know if it's worth paying money for, especially since like in the cold weather, I saw about 18.4 miles per gallon, which is a 22% drop. But that checks out with what you would expect from either a gas engine or a hybrid in these temperatures. Like it's very cold right now. It was often below freezing. So
I'm looking at the EPA's fueleconomy.gov of a 2025 Toyota Tundra 4-wheel drive hybrid.
Okay.
Which is also a 6-cylinder turbo hybrid, right? And it gets 20 miles per gallon.
So the Ford is like considerably better, like 17, 18% better. I just don't think it's compelling enough. I think, for me, it's the difference in fuel mileage to pay more for.
Okay.
And there is a limited ability to like drive around on electric only if you want. I only had it kick in a couple of times. Like the gas motor when driving around on the electric motor or the other way around? I drove around probably, I took note of how many, 18% of the miles I put on the truck were electric, but almost all of that was like highway coasting. So it's really aggressive about cutting the engine when you're just cruising around at a set speed or going downhill or that kind of thing. Off the line, there were a couple of times where I could tell the electric engine was, or the electric motor, was providing the locomotion. But because it was so cold, it like cut out almost immediately. And my one complaint about the drivetrain is that the back and forth between the gas engine and the electric motor is not very smooth. You usually know when it's happening, and sometimes there's a bit of a kick. So that kind of takes away from what I like about the vehicle.
Okay. That's just, again, further discussion on the powertrain. And it's got which transmission does it have here?
I'm sorry?
What was the transmission
It's
again?
the same transmission as all the other F-Series trucks.
That's really interesting. The ability to adapt this transmission to everything. It's a 10-speed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 10-speed. It's like it's the same thing. Like I believe that Ford put the electric motor in between the transmission and the gas engine.
Okay. And so as a result, I mean, EcoBoost sometimes has a little bit of turbo lag, but this probably doesn't because of that electric motor.
You know what? I've never really noticed turbo lag in the F-Series. Have you? Is the EcoBoost, even the smaller EcoBoost, is something that always felt very immediate?
Well, I mean, I think it has a bit of turbo lag. I don't think I still don't think it's perfect, but
I didn't say it was perfect. But like, what are you expecting out of a turbo truck? Like, what I don't understand.
Poof! Like take off time. Okay, now have you mentioned other things that the F-150? What's it called again? Why can't I remember the names of these things?
No idea, dude.
Pro Powerboost can do in terms of, it's not known as the most towing capable version of the F-150 because the hybrid powertrain adds more weight to the vehicle, right?
I actually think that the 12,500 pounds is at the top. I don't
That's
know the
wicked.
full capabilities. I'm sure there's like a stripped down truck that maybe does a bit more, but I
That's
don't,
wicked.
I
Then good
don't,
for them. Wow.
I don't know how many F series trucks are towing above, or even like 1500, half ton trucks are towing above like 13,000 pounds. It doesn't really seem like that's the thing that happens. Obviously
Okay.
there's probably an exception out there.
Yeah, I mean, of course, people want to use every last bit of the truck, but I mean, you've said it before. Don't use one of these size trucks for that maximum tow rating. Try to get like a heavy duty or something like that that gives you more leeway, I guess, and more confidence in those situations.
Sorry, say that again.
Just if you're towing at that level, you should probably consider a heavy duty truck.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people who tow at that level do. I don't know how many people tow at the edge of like a half ton. The one thing I would think is the exception are people who have a boat that they tow once a year,
Hmm.
or if you have like a camper that you take to the camping site and then you leave it there and then you bring it back and you have like a set route that goes to either the lake or your campsite. This is just like conjecture on my part, but I feel like those are
Okay.
the people who are, if they do push up against the limits, they're okay with that kind of thing. It's not something that's done regularly. I think that that's a very heavy load, and if you're towing that much all the time, it's probably because you're a professional. And if you're a professional towing that all the time, you're going to want an HD truck or a Super Duty truck, however it's branded. Um, I would like to think that the people who are towing 12.5 all the time in a half ton are outliers, and I'm never going to encounter them on the road.
Okay, so we've talked about the powertrain pretty much in depth. Talk to me about the other parts of this truck that you got to experience. You didn't drive the top trim, which I think is called a Platinum. You drove a Lariat, you said, right?
Yeah, I drove a Lariat.
Um, and what is the story about the Lariat in comparison to other trim levels of the F-150?
I haven't been in another trim level in quite a while. I couldn't really tell you. I mean,
Oh, no.
in comparison, it was.
Okay, well, was this considered to be premium? Does it have
It's.
like super nice leather seats and
I mean, it's
all the cool
$72,000
technology?
US. So
Everything is 70 grand.
that's a
Come
fair
on,
amount of
man.
money. In Canada, it's right around 80, and then you start
Wow.
adding options, right? So I had a couple of options, not a lot, but it adds up quick. If you really wanted to go crazy, you could definitely push this truck into the 90,000s, I would think, in Canada. In the
Hmm.
US, you're probably like mid 80s. One thing that I did have on the truck that I was not very impressed with was Blue Cruise.
Oh yeah, you've had really negative experiences with Blue Cruise.
Yeah, and that continued with this truck.
How
Um,
crazy is that? That's so interesting.
so
Okay, keep going.
Blue Cruise is supposed to be a hands-free driving system, right?
Basically, the competitor to Super Cruise from
Yeah,
GM,
but there's no.
which we have been pretty impressed
It
with.
is in no way a competitor to Super Cruise. It
Yeah.
is not ready for prime time in a lot of ways. There are things about how it works that are problematic, and what I
Hmm.
mean by that is when you initiate a lane change with Blue Cruise, it pushes back against you. Like you hit a turn signal and you're changing lanes, but it'll move the wheel back, thinking that you're drifting out of your lane. It's really annoying. If you accelerate
Okay.
past a certain speed, it will tell you to put your hands on the wheel, but then it'll fight you if you have your hands on the wheel. It's not very good at
What do you mean
communicating.
by fight you? It'll tell you, like
It'll push
disabling Blue
back
Cruise
against your
because
hands. It will push back
what?
against your steering inputs. The vehicle's not good at communicating what the parameters of Blue Cruise are.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is one of the things that Super Cruise is so good at because it has all these like light these this light bar on the steering wheel in addition to the messages that it provides you, right? So you have like a general idea of how serious the concern is that the car has about the self-driving situations it's faced with, and whether or not you need to like jump to attention, whether or not it's something that's being disabled or something on your fault, on your like user input error, right?
yeah, yeah. Um,
And no, I found in Blue Cruise one of the major issues is that any form of notification to the driver is really small, despite the size of the gauge cluster that these cars have. It's typically, I think I've had it in an Explorer, and I was like, what does it really want me to do right now? What is the concern? It just typically either shows you a steering wheel with hands on it or a steering wheel without hands on it, and that you're supposed to take that information and do with it as you wish.
The other issue I had with the Blue Cruise was at one point, the vehicle told me to keep my eyes on the road while I was staring straight ahead. And at that point, like, what do I do? You know, like, I can't look ahead harder, which is what I tried to do, but it didn't. It kept flashing that at me, and then it said resume control, and I grabbed the steering wheel, right, and it didn't recognize that I had resumed control. So it kept flashing.
You are basing an out of body experience in the F-150, and the F-150 was picking up on it.
It kept flashing at me to resume control, and then it started jerking the brakes to get my attention. It would triple.
That's not very nice.
It would triple tap the brakes, even though I was holding the steering wheel and staring straight ahead. It's like,
wow.
It is not.
It was possessed.
It's not a system I would trust without keeping an eye on it at all times, which is true of any advanced driving system.
Yeah, but at that point, you might as well just drive the car yourself.
Yeah. Right? There's another time where I was going around a corner, and Blue Cruise pulled me completely out of the lane on the left over the other line, and then started flashing resume control at me. Absolutely out of nowhere.
It's like, I made a huge error. Please help me.
I had never had that happen before with Super Cruise. That has never happened in a million years. So it really feels like it's half baked. Like,
that's interesting.
And
I will tell you, in my experience with these self-driving systems, especially when it comes to the lane changing thing, it's so bizarre that some of them are like, get your hands off the steering wheel, let me do it. Or if it detects even the slightest like nudge of the steering wheel, which, you know, you naturally, when you hit the lane change in like the lane change or the turn signal, your hands are at the steering wheel. Why not just have your hands there just to make sure everything goes smoothly? And if they detect anything, they basically bail out. They're like, nope, not happening anymore. And I hate that. I absolutely dislike the my way only kind of methodology of a driver assistance feature like that.
I had a couple other problems with the truck, but one that stood out was the touch to unlock feature, like keyless entry, didn't work on the driver's side. I could only get it to work. No. The button that's on, so there's two ways to do it. There's like a button to lock and unlock, I guess. And there's also, you can just grab the handle and pull. It only worked on the passenger side, both of those features. So the driver's door, I'm assuming it had a dead sensor or something, but that sucks. I can't remember the last time I had that feature break. Can you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 100%. I can tell you when it didn't work. It was a Volvo.
No. I don't mean when it didn't work. I mean when it broke. We know that Volvo left the factory without that feature working because there's only a sensor on the driver's side, which is terrible.
It's so bad. Okay, forget that. I don't know. I've been locked out of that Volvo. I needed to use one of the 3 keys they gave me and wave it in some, I don't know.
And then Volvo was like, okay, wrap a brick in a t-shirt. Stand a safe distance away.
I was so unimpressed by that car. I don't know if we do. I don't remember if we do. We've been doing this show for like 9 years. I don't know if we do yearly awards or anything, but easily one of the worst cars I drove this year.
The EX90.
Volvo EX90.
It won a special award from Unnamed Automotive Podcast. The award is they're not selling it in Canada next year. The 2026 model year is not going to be available in Canada, only in the US.
It's not our fault.
I'm just saying we don't know that it's not our fault. You can't prove a negative.
That's true.
I mean, I guess the EX90 proves a lot of negatives, but truly a stumble from Volvo. I don't know what they're going to do to recover. Like, I'm very curious to find out what the next stage is for them. This is too bad. Software.
Did we talk about their LiDAR thing? Their LiDAR supplier is like non-existent anymore, and that car just has a LiDAR hump on it. Like, all of their cars are designed with LiDAR humps on it. So now what? Like,
well, now what is, it doesn't matter because they're not going to sell it in Canada. That's the now what. It's like Sayonara LiDAR hump.
So, okay.
This is a weird episode.
Back to the F-150.
Things are weird. It's a weird time. Anyone else having a weird time? Let us know. Just hit us up on Instagram or email or through the website.
Tell me one more thing about the F-150.
One more thing.
At least one more thing. Tell me about this cabin. What's the story on the interior?
I mean, it's gigantic. In the back, it's really big. Oh, I forgot about another great thing about that Pro Power onboard. Tailgating.
Okay. Did you tailgate?
No,
You're not that social, are
it's
you?
December, Sammy. I'm not tailgating. I'm not in Green Bay.
You haven't met Buffalo Bills fans, have you?
No, I haven't, thankfully. No offense to Buffalo Bills fans. I don't follow football. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to like cook or do whatever, you could have a pretty elaborate meal with that 7.2 kilowatt generator. And that would be a lot of fun.
Ford made a big deal about like providing all of these really like elaborate measurements and dimensions for the Maverick, encouraging people to 3D print all of these weird unnecessary accessories for the truck. They should have done this for especially with this Pro Power Assist
Sammy,
on board or whatever it's called.
The problem is the F-150 is so big. There's not enough there's not enough filament in the world. You'd have to have like an industrial size 3D printer
to make stuff.
Yeah. Just not possible.
To just like latch up all of your like sausages and whatever you're cooking up there.
Good luck.
That'd be great.
Some kind of sausage clothesline. The truck that I drove had that weird tailgate where it's like open in the middle. Have you seen that?
Yeah, what you've been worried. Every time you see one of these, you tell me. I don't know if you've said this on the podcast or if you told me in private, but I'm gonna open it up now. But you've told me that these things seem like they're rust spots.
Yeah, it's rust waiting to happen. It's terrible.
Yes. Future rust problems.
Tailgates are so complicated now. I wrote a story about this for Motor Trend last month about how tailgates got so complicated and why are they so complicated. It doesn't make any sense. It started in the 2000s. Ford started it with that step that they put in. Remember, like the step that drops down and there's like a handle for the step?
The little knob that that really lame lock.
Then like GMC and Chevrolet were like, why don't we just put a notch in the bumper?
Yeah, that was normal.
Works just as well as this elaborate.
And then there was those other ones, those like weird kick steps that you had to use too.
Yeah, there's the kick step, and then there's like
but those aren't tailgates. That's all like access.
But the tailgates, the weaponization of complexity continued with the multi-pro tailgate. Remember that? Yeah,
that one that basically unfolds like three times.
It's like an origami tailgate. Like you can make a swan out of it. You can make a bench. You can put speakers in it. It's so heavy. There was a carbon fiber bed that you could get with the GMC Denali. Remember that? I've never seen one. Also, I don't remember, but did they make a carbon fiber tailgate for it too? Or was it the same multi-pro, multi-flex, whatever? Was that steel? So like you had a carbon fiber bed with a steel tailgate. Do you know?
I think that is the case. I think it was the carbon fiber bed and then the complicated tailgate.
Did anyone buy the carbon fiber bed? If anyone out there has seen one in the wild, I would love to know, because that feels like one of those features like on some auction in like Kissimmee St. Cloud at Mecum
that they're gonna be like
25 years from now, they'd be like, well, this truck, excuse me, this GMC has the carbon fiber bed. They made 7 of these, like, because it wasn't cheap.
No, it wasn't cheap and it wasn't sensible. I mean, beds are one of the most wear and tear items of a vehicle.
So now Ram has like what, a 3-piece tailgate, and Ford has this tailgate that opens in the middle. And the idea is if you have a trailer hooked up, you can like swing it away.
How dare you?
You can swing it away and have access to what's in your bed. I guess that kind of works.
Is that not the Ridgeline's original gimmick?
Don't talk to me about the Ridgeline, Sammy.
The Ridgeline originally had a tailgate that would swing out or flop down.
Yeah,
right?
but that's technology that we had back in the 70s. You could get station wagons that had tailgates. It was double hinged, and they also had tailgates. There was a Chevrolet that disappeared.
I love it.
Crazy. I've never seen.
I don't understand why we don't have more disappearing tailgates.
I'm going to assume rust and also
like everything else.
Like snow. Like if there's snow, would you just crush the like? Remember what happens with automatic side steps that go in and out of a truck when there's too much snow and they can't deal with it?
They just and you hear this awful noise.
It's like a grinding noise,
a failing or an upset motor.
It's like you're holding a slot car on the track while gunning the motor at full speed. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's like some combination of those problems.
That's too bad.
But
I can't believe we haven't figured that out.
The Ford one is different from the Ridgeline because the Ridgeline was the full length of the tailgate open, and the Ford one, it opens in the middle. Now, that is perhaps a differentiation by degree.
Yeah. That's a very simple
I'm not going to hold you to that as a major point. I think it's silly. I don't think it's silly as in dumb. I just think it's like, I just want a normal tailgate that's not going to break. I was once driving in my own F-150 in the 90s, and it was from the 80s, and the tailgate fell off because of rust. And
where did it go?
Well, I'll tell you, that's the funny part of the story. I had like cherry bomb exhaust on the truck, which was super loud. And so I didn't hear the fact that I was dragging the tailgate by like one metal arm down the road at night. I noticed it in my rearview mirror when I saw all these sparks flying from the road, and I had to stop and get my tailgate. So tailgates have come a long way, but rust remains a constant problem, I think.
Well, I think in general, any tailgate that stays on the truck is a great tailgate.
Sure, that's an upgrade, yeah. But how much are you willing to pay for that?
Yeah, I don't know. That security will cost you.
And a carbon fiber tailgate is not going to make sparks. So
okay, but be real. When I started doing this job, I don't know, 10 years ago. Whatever,
10 years ago.
15 years ago or whatever. I was so much more flexible and active, and I could jump in the bed, no problem. Nowadays, I need those steps. I need those weird tailgates to like hoist me over. I need one that's like, you need like a whole
jungle gym back there, yeah. Like an Olympic ring set and like a pommel horse, and you can do a trick.
Yeah, I need to get my activity back.
I think that you have to realize it's not just the fact that you're getting older, which you clearly are, and it's.
I clearly am.
What do you mean by that? Talk about estate planning after the podcast, but trucks have also gotten so much bigger over the last decade.
That's right.
Yeah, I used to be able to reach into the bed of a truck and get what I was carrying. Now you need like a small crane that like toddles up to the truck and like beep, 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 and like goes down like a magic claw at an arcade and grabs what you have, because you can't even see what's in there anymore.
That's right.
They're just gigantic these days, and for no reason. We wouldn't need these technologies. It's like a Maverick is, I think, the same size as like the F-150 that I used to own in my 80s F-150. That's insane. That's nuts. They're very close length and width.
That is insane. That's I mean, yeah, okay, fine. Trucks have gotten significantly bigger over that time, but we're still having to get things in and out of them.
Yeah.
Are we going to start getting like ones that like bagged trucks that go all the way down?
No, but I think it's a reflection of the fact that people aren't using the cargo bed, so they don't complain about this stuff, and it just keeps, we're being victimized by design and styling rather than actual features that people want to use.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Okay, one more time, hit me with the price of this truck.
So the one that I drove, the Lariat, was let me get the price again.
You said it was like 79 or 80 or something.
No, it's 79 in Canada to start on a Lariat. The one that I had with options, mine was 72,935, and that includes things like Blue Cruise and a few other features. But in Canada, that's the base pricing. But as I said, you can add it to an XLT. So if you pick an XLT and you have to pick Super Crew, I will add it. I'm building it right now. When I add why isn't it letting me add the hybrid? Oh, wow. So in Canada,
you can't get it.
I think it's not.
You have to get to a higher trim level.
No, I think it's because I selected a Super Cab, and instead of adding Super Cab, it's like, now I had to actually select Super Crew. Whereas in the US builder, if you're in like a single cab truck, it's like adding this will add these other options, and then it shows you. Yeah, the Canadian one doesn't do that for some reason. Getting to the hybrid. Oh, okay. So I am a Super Crew truck. I added the hybrid, and it says that it doesn't have a price. And you're like,
what do you mean?
So if you look at all of the other engines for the F series, there's like the 5-liter V8's another $4,000.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing
it's
that.
V6s.
Okay. So what happens when I click on it?
You hit Powerboost, and then it's like you need to add
Super Crew, add XLT standard, remove Super Crew, remove XLT discount.
So you're adding the thing is all of the Powerboosts are 4-wheel drive. So you're adding 4-wheel drive, and you're adding an options package, and it's $7,465
in Canada. Yeah,
but that's just for XLT. If you're in a Lariat, I think you're already at 4-wheel drive, and you already have those options, so it's much less expensive to add. So the cheapest version of the hybrid in Canada is $68,000.
Okay, that's not bad considering that
insane.
The average
that's
price.
Absolutely insane.
No, the average price of a new car in Canada is close to 66,000 or 65,000 or something like that. So that isn't that much more than the average price. Is not to say that the average price is acceptable, but that's what it is.
Here's another funny thing on the builder is once you've chosen the hybrid engine and you've said okay to all these other features, it gives you a price for the hybrid engine, which is $5,075.
Yeah, I see that.
And then it removes the price from the EcoBoost, the 2.7, which I'm assuming that's because when you click that, it's going to remove some packages.
Yeah.
Or not. It didn't. And once it's selected, you don't get a price for that either. Okay.
Panic.
Total panic. But once it's...
I mean, these things are so complicated. It's breaking the computer. It's breaking their website.
You scroll down to, like, literally the third choice you can make when building an F-150 is the rear axle ratio. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 choices.
Yeah. You got to know your truck, man.
Yeah. So just wrapping it up. I think this truck is good. I think this is a useful option.
What's your hierarchy of pickups right now?
I don't really have
F-Series at the top?
No, I don't know. So I used to like
Ram.
I used to really like Ram, and then I had that experience with the Ram that I was towing with last year or 2 years ago, and I had a lot of electrical gremlins with that truck. I haven't driven one since. I'm going to be driving one soon, and I'm excited to see if those have, now that we're in the second model year of the redesign or third model year even, if those things have been removed. I also feel like maybe Ram isn't keeping up with the luxury like they used to, which was one of their most...
Yeah, I think they've been losing ground on all... They still got a very nice design, but I think the other bits... And that Hurricane engine is pretty cool.
Yeah, but
now they're
backing away from it. I mean, I thought the Hurricane engine was great. So I don't really have a hierarchy of trucks right now.
To me, I've always found the F-150 to be the best spread from the lower range to the high range. So I've always found, like, if you're struggling to really pick the exact truck, you just need a truck. I think the F-150 will cover the most customers. And then I used to think that the Ram was really design focused, and then the Silverado was really practical, like usability focused.
I've been driving...
Because I love those engines in the Silverado too.
Most of the trucks I've been driving in the last year or so have either been full EV or the heavy duty versions of those trucks.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it's been kind of like a weird, like I'm exclusively driving like the heaviest versions of every pickup. Like every truck I take home these days, it seems like it has. So in Canada, if you're above, I think it's 6,000 kilos or something like that. Not 6,000 kilos. It's insane. If it's above like 9,000 pounds, you have to get a special plate, and there's like additional inspections. And like so many of the trucks I'm driving have these plates on them, so it's kind of fun.
Right. Okay, so no hierarchy. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to talk about this week?
No, I'm dry well.
We did it, man.
Yeah, we got through December. This is like the fourth attempt to do this podcast. If you made it through the intro, and our energy levels picked up later, sometimes it's weird. Sometimes the podcast is strange. Sometimes the podcast is what you make of it yourself. So if you want to get in touch with us and say, hey guys, here's an intervention. There's a lot of ways you can do that. The easiest way is the website unnamedautomotivepodcast.com. There's a form you can fill out and click send, and it ends up in our inbox. Or you can email the old-fashioned way, benjamin@benjaminhunting.com. Or you can find us on social media. I'm on Instagram @huntingbenjamin. A lot of people reach out to me there, and it's always fun to chat. And Sammy is there. He's @Sammy_ha, like you're laughing.
I love that. What are we talking about next week, Ben?
Next week, I'm going to be talking about a minivan. I'm
also going to be talking about a minivan.
So mine is the Honda Odyssey.
Mine is not the Honda Odyssey. It's the Chrysler Pacifica.
Is yours a plug-in Chrysler Pacifica?
No, it's an all-wheel drive model.
Is it a hybrid?
No.
Okay. So mine is neither of those things either. So they're going to be pretty close.
Okay. All right. Perfect. See ya. Yeah, so let's get to it. Ben, tell them what you do, who you write for, and let's get to the cars.
I am an automotive journalist. You know what's weird is...
You're so uncomfortable. Why do you sound so uncomfortable saying what you do?
There's this movie I watched a lot when I was a kid called the Muppet movie. You know Muppets?
I love the Muppets. In fact, my favorite part of the holidays is watching the Muppets Christmas Carol.
So in the movie, there's a character named Snake who's a human character, and they ask him. There's this one point where Snake is being introduced, and the guy's like, "Tell him what you do, Snake," and Snake says, "Kill frogs," and then he shoots this it's like a knife thing from a gun into a wall. No. And I saw that movie when I was a child, like 40 years ago, and it's just been in my head ever since. So when you ask me what I do, part of me is
tell him what you do.
Yeah, tell him what you do, Snake. I guess in real life, snakes do kill frogs, and that's why they had that in the movie. But it was terrifying for me. Why would anyone want to kill Kermit? Like, that's what I didn't understand.
Well, he's a pretty influential Hollywood type.
Is he? I don't think
In
he's
certain universes, Muppet verse. Yeah,
I don't think he's aware of that. I think it's entirely in the background for him.
my favorite Muppet media is Muppets Tonight Show. Is my favorite.
What
thing.
is the Muppets Tonight Show?
The Muppets Tonight was like a weekly show, I think, and they had a showrunner. I think his name was Clifford. It was so good, and I used to have guests on all the time.
You just mean the Muppet Show, like the original Muppet Show?
No, yeah, I guess so.
From like the 80s?
I thought it was called Muppets Tonight.
Maybe there was a show called Muppets Tonight. Is anyone still listening? Is anyone still
but literally
tuned
the
in to
Muppets
the
Tonight
unnamed,
is my favorite thing.
the Unnamed Muppet Podcast?
Yeah, Muppets Tonight. Muppets Tonight from 1996 to 98.
Okay. I don't remember
Okay.
that show.
There you go.